It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so this is a bit of a special report, special video here on True School Sports. It's True School Sports exclusive just for you guys, right? Because recently I was on Twitter, and yes, I still call it Twitter. It may be called X now, but to me it'll always be Twitter. I was on Twitter recently, and I had a little minor back and forth with the man that we call here on this channel the last American heavyweight hope, and that's none other than Jared Anderson, Toledo, Ohio's very own Jared Anderson. We'll start Hrgovic, right? Filip Hrgovic came out with a video on January 9th, and he had stated that he had caught wind of Joseph Parker being open to fighting him. So he basically said, look, I accept your challenge. Let's make the fight happen. Now, obviously, as we know, Joseph Parker decided to not fight Hrgovic again, and he decided to fight Zhang, which I won't get too angry about. I'm disappointed in Joseph Parker. I thought he would fight Hrgovic, but I'm not surprised. Not going to complain. I think Zhang is still a good fight for the heavyweight division for boxing, so it's not all bad. But basically, Jared responded to that tweet, and he said, and I quote, "But when I say something, he went silent," right? So that's what it is. So he's saying that he called out Hrgovic. Hrgovic was silent about it, which I think is kind of hilarious because Hrgovic literally said in interviews, plenty of interviews, that he had no problem with Jared Anderson. That would be like easy work for him. So I don't know where he's going saying all this stuff about he went silent, trying to act like people are ducking him. But nonetheless, after that tweet, after this guy on Twitter, this guy named CJ, who I guess watches the channel. CJ, if you're out there, salute to you. He said, and I quote, he says your boy's ducking him. So I saw the tweet, and I responded to good old CJ, and this is what I said to him. This is what I said to CJ. It was two tweets I said to CJ. I said to CJ, I said, look, Hrgovic called him out for sparring when they were both in Houston, and so he should have turned up for that. And to that, Jared Anderson said he actually, I tweeted this guy, and Jared Anderson was mentioned in the tweet, so it got to Jared, and Jared got pissed off and went on a little rant, minor little rant, and he said, sparring is free. Make some money on, fool. So he's over here using slang terms. I don't use them. I don't use slang terms from trash ass TikTok videos and trash ass rappers. So it's money, Jared. Money. We don't do that, right? We don't do that over here, right? But then this is the tweet that I really think got him highly upset. It got him all the way in his feelings, because I was telling him the stone cold truth here. I said, he's calling out Hrgovic now, knowing that Hrgovic is already the mandatory for the IBF, and he's next in line for a title shot. He knows Top Rank ain't making that fight next, and that's why he's calling him out now. He'll probably fight Ajit Kabayel for his next fight. And then he said, and I quote, he said my name, fuck out of here. I said that shit the same night. He said my name, quit dick riding, and he put DICC, right? So he can't even spell dick riding, right? And he's over here getting mad at me, right? So then I told Jared, I said, what you call dick riding, I call common sense. You are currently ranked number 5 in the IBF. Hrgovic mentioned you and a few other fighters ranked around him. Joseph Parker is next in line for the fight now that Joshua is fighting Francis. If he turns it down, then you're next. And then I told him, I also wound up telling Jared, I also said, basically, like, if you're really serious about making the fight happen, why don't you tell Bob Arum and Carl Moretti and Brad Goodman and the whole staff and the fine folks at Top Rank that you want the Hrgovic fight next? Because I keep hearing from everybody, a lot of people in boxing, that, Hrgovic ain't nothing and you'll just run right through him. So if Hrgovic ain't nothing, if that paperwork gets passed to you and the opportunity presents itself, there really shouldn't be any reason why Jared Anderson ain't fighting him, because, again, Hrgovic ain't that good, right? So it should be easy work. Now, funny enough, and I'm not going to name no names, but, I've spoken to some people in boxing, right? And by the way, the IBF rankings have changed since the time of these tweets. Anderson, at the time of these tweets, was number 5 in the IBF rankings. Now he's number 6. They've actually bumped Daniel Dubois up next, so Daniel Dubois could be next in line for the fight. So we'll see if Dubois fights Hrgovic, which I think is a good fight, but I don't think it's quite as good as Hrgovic versus Anderson, just telling the truth. But look, I've heard through the grapevine from people I know in boxing that more than likely Anderson is not fighting Hrgovic next, because Hrgovic, or not Hrgovic, Anderson already has a fight date lined up with Top Rank, and they got their own plans for him, right? So maybe they're going to give him a step up against somebody else. I personally think that it's going to be Ajit Kabiel, and the reason I think it's going to be Ajit Kabiel is because I always thought that Top Rank was going to line up Anderson eventually to fight Arslanbek Makhmudov, but since Makhmudov lost to Kabiel, Kabiel has taken Makhmudov's spot in the queue to fight Jared Anderson, and it makes sense when you look at the rankings because in the IBF, Kabiel is ranked number 8. He's number 8 in the IBF rankings. Anderson's number 6, and that's the route I think they're trying to go, is the IBF. But then if you look at all the other governing bodies, Kabiel is ranked above Anderson at 7. Anderson's 12 in the WBA. Kabiel he's not ranked in WBC, and I don't think he's ranked in the WBO. So he's got good ranking position, good standing in the weight class, and it would be a beneficial fight for him. And it's a good step up fight because look, Kabiel on paper he's never lost. He fought Chisora many years ago when Chisora had a nice looking record. Beat him. He also beat Makhmudov, who was looked at to be this killer, so to speak. So that's a good win on paper for Anderson, and the kind of step up that I think Top Rank will give him. I think Top Rank is smart. They won't step him up too quickly to Hrgovic because that's still a big step up in class. You can't just go from, Charles Martin at the end of his career to Filip Hrgovic. I think there's still gradual step ups that he needs to be ready for that. But look, he's talking about sparring and how sparring is free. Listen, some of his fights in his career, like many fighters in boxing, have been like sparring sessions. Jared Anderson against some of these guys been fighting like that Bosnian dude he fought last year. That was like he was stealing a living from boxing, right? Just like, and I can be fair because I'm not a dick rider, so to speak. Filip Hrgovic versus Mark Demori, that was stealing a living. That was, that should have been sparring as well. So, look, a lot of fighters have fights where they're stealing a living and it's basically should be free sparring. Anderson and Hrgovic are no different. But I would like that fight. I'll love that fight because, the way I see it right now, and you know how boxing is, boxing changes every hour. Forget every day, it changes every hour. How things are right now could be totally different in an hour because it just moves so fast. But Jared Anderson versus Filip Hrgovic, I feel with the way things are shaking out, is becoming one of the better fights you can make in the heavyweight division because with the way it's going, and it's unfortunate, Saudi Arabia and Turkey Al Sheikh, they're trying to line up the winner of Joshua and Ngannou to fight the winner of Fury and Usyk, right? Which I think is it's not fair because Hrgovic has been mandatory for over a year. He deserves his shot. So there's a big possibility that Hrgovic might get frozen out of a world title shot. So in the meantime, while he's waiting, I would love him to fight Jared Anderson because I know from speaking to Filip Hrgovic personally, because he's a good friend of the channel. I know from speaking to him that he's kind of befuddled, and he thinks it's kind of funny that people think that Jared Anderson is better than him. Like, I know from speaking to him in the past, he stated that, like, if Anderson was this great heavyweight, where are his amateur credentials to speak of? I don't even think he made the Olympic team. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't even think Jared Anderson made the Olympic team. Where is his Olympic medals? Is one thing I know he said in the gym to me one time, and he's not wrong. Hrgovic fought at a much higher level as amateur than Anderson did, and right now he's a little further ahead in the pros, but obviously he's older, he's more advanced in his career, so he should be right. He should be. That's just being fair. But I like this fight more than Anderson versus Dubois or Hrgovic versus Dubois because I think Jared Anderson, he has a lot to prove. A lot of questions are still out there on him. Like for me, look, I don't have any questions of Jared Anderson's talent level. I think his skill level is very good. I don't think it's like to the level that some people in boxing think. Like I've heard people get carried away and say that Jared Anderson's like a young Riddick Bowe, which to me is utter horseshit. He's good. He's very good, but he's not young Riddick Bowe. Let's calm down. He don't have those inside fighting skills. He ain't boxed from the outside like that. His straight right hand ain't like that. He's just not Riddick Bowe. Let's have it right. But he's good, and he does deserve to be where he's at in the rankings. And I would like to see him in a fight like against a top guy like a Hrgovic because I don't question his talent level. I question really it's all the other stuff that comes with being great in boxing. It's the mental side of boxing. It's his dedication for the sport because he already said it. He's made it known. He's already talking about retirement. He's already talking about life after boxing, which I don't think is bad. I think you should think about life after boxing as a fighter. But the way he talks about it, you can tell he don't really love boxing like that. And boxing's a sport where the business can sour you. So maybe later on in his career, he gets an appetite for this and he winds up does loving the sport again. But right now, he don't really sound like he loves the sport. And I've heard him say things like, "Oh, I don't need a belt. I don't need to be champion. This, that, and the third." So I've just seen a lot of questionable behavior from Jared Anderson that makes you question how far he can really go in the sport. But I think a fight like a Hrgovic, or even if not Hrgovic, like a Dubois or a G. Caballero, who I think he will ultimately fight. So looking forward to the fight in advance. I think all those fights will be good for Anderson. But all I'm going to say is this. I'm going to end the video on this note. All this energy that Jared Anderson got from me, if and when the opportunity presents itself and paperwork is passed to fight Filip Hrgovic, do not be like all these other heavyweights. Don't be like that, Jared. Don't be like Parker has twice. Don't be like, Andy Ruiz twice. Don't be like your fellow American Michael Hunter, who definitely didn't want to fight Hrgovic. Don't be like these guys that found every reason not to fight him and wanted to hide behind money or lack thereof. If you think it's sweet with Hrgovic, when that paperwork gets passed to you, don't duck the fight. And that's all I'm gonna say. I wish him the best. I hope he does well. Like, I have nothing bad to say about Jared Anderson. I would like, him to do well, because we don't really have many American heavyweights at his level in boxing. So really, he is the last American heavyweight hope, as I always call him here on True School Sports. And look, we'll see how it goes for him. Wish the kid nothing but success. Hear good things about him. Looking forward to meeting him one day. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dang. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.